Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. This is the weekly questions and answered, where we look at questions and their answers that have been featured in the Star Citizen community this week. And we try and answer them as quickly as possible. We try and break them down so we can just give the answers as quickly as possible. And these are the ones that have caught my eyes anyway. There's probably millions of them across the forums, but I look at the ones that I think are interesting. There were loads in 10 for the Chairman, episode 65 this week. Is multi-crew ship tech specific to multi-crew ships? No, any ship with an interior that can be moved around in, like a Mustang Beta for example, will be coded so that other people can be standing in that ship too. With procedurally generated content, will a location that I visit be saved so it's the same when I return to the same location? Yes, it will be the same. They're using clever stuff to do the procedurally generation stuff so that when you go to travel to a location, it's going to be the same every time you travel to that location. Will there be things to draw players to actually go to socialise in the bars? Yes, there'll be missions, information, and maybe even some special missions there. How can and will players be able to warn NPCs of an impending attack? You won't need to, they aren't dumb, they will defend themselves, but you can give them basic instructions. What's the difference between a missile and a torpedo in Star Citizen? Torpedoes have larger payloads and are slower. Are there plans to add additional seats to Retaliators and other ships of their size? These ships already have lots of seats, modules might add some, so potentially there may be more seats if you have the correct modules. I know a lot of games where gameplay was destroyed by bots and gold sellers. How are you going to prevent this? Among other things, regulation and control of legitimate UEC purchases and limiting the amount that can be transferred between players will all help prevent this. ASRock is a relatively small landing area shown in the social module, and there was talk some time ago about 1,000 players per server instance. How many landing pads will there be on ASRock? Well, the number they're actually trying to go for is between 50 and 100 per instance. They were looking at getting multiplayer servers in the future to possibly handle chunks of 100 people and put them together into potentially getting 1,000 in one large space instance, but that is in the future. All of this stuff, all the landing pads are going to be instanced, but they might have a few people, so up to 50 to 100 per instance, so it's not an issue where you can land and when you can land, because they're instanced. The environment pipeline is the name given to the pipeline for the landing zones, and they're likely to be released in stages in a similar way to ASRock with its shops and stores. In Around the Verse episode 60, a couple of questions were clarified by Matt Sherman about E-War. EMPs might sound a bit overpowered, but they will be balanced. It won't be cheap and easy to win kind of weapons. Like in the Matrix, if you pop an EMP on your ship would go down too, possibly. It's not going to be a free attack win. Data spikes. E-War in general is a few layers of gameplay all put on top of each other. Data spikes are going to be hacking. Hack a target, then go through their systems to shut them down. Individual components or aspects of the ship can all be targeted. The reason we're putting missiles behind this is the kind of shutdown is going to be similar to blowing someone up with a torpedo. They want to try and balance the risk-reward, and so if you're doing an on-site hack, then you could do something like set a self-destruct timer and hopefully get enough time to run out. E-War is a major gameplay mechanic, and it plays into lots of the core systems like scanners and communications. But it's going to be coming out piece by piece, and the next thing we're going to see fully functioning will be distortion weapons. There will be more E-War posts in the future as more systems get designed, implemented, and explained. I would expect to see hacking in the near future, to be the next one in fact, and CIG are asking for people's ideas on cool hacking minigames. Also in Around the Verse episode 60, the week's MVP was a Tonal Free Fighter 1 who created a Lego Vanguard. 2 weeks ago, there was also a contest for Star Citizen info cards. So who won? Mr. Combustible, Geo Get Money, and Kin Shadow. They will all be receiving Vanguard Harbingers. Good job, guys. And this week's sneak peek was various hair designs for the female character. Over on Batgirl's channel, where she interviewed Ben, there was some good questions answered there. The plan for the Endeavour is there's going to be one base hull for sale, no variants. The pods, or the modules that are attached to the mid and rear, are going to be different. Similar sale to that of the base or modular Retaliator. You can buy the Endeavour chassis and then choose which modules to put on, and that will effectively make its role. It's a Lego system. Ben also mentioned a Deep Space Observatory, overclocking labs, ambulance bay, and operating theatres, implying that they were all separate pods or modules. forward operating bases and landing pads will exist in-game, further out in some systems, and sometime after launch, players may be able to make their own as well. Quantum drives will be able to be programmed with more complex paths and data, and not necessarily just a straight line from A to B. The Prowler is awaiting its concept designer currently, and they should start working on it within 2 to 3 weeks. Reverse the Verse 62, as always, Reverse the Verse being a wealth of knowledge and questions and answers. The Community Hub is live for concierge and subscribers, and was going to be live to all backers extremely soon. The Issue Council will be available next week with instructional videos on good posting. The Issue Council is primarily for bug reporting. There is still tons of CS customer support tickets, and unmelting ships is currently on hold. The new hangar flare is a big stone, and if you want to sub over the weekend, it will be in your hangar by Tuesday the 15th of September. Freelancer rework is still in progress. The next design document and deep dive that they do will be related to science for the Endeavour when it comes out. Hairstyles are still in development for those female characters that we've been teased with, and all the clothing options we've seen so far are part of the Terra White Collar series. No additional work on the Reclaimer this year. They're going to concentrate on the combat multi-crew ships before they go for role-specific ones. The next version of the Community Hub will be integrated with YouTube gaming. The question of DirectX 12 support got asked, and they said, no idea, the Frankfurt guys might know more about it, but that's a programming issue, not a design one. No hard date on the Endeavour sale yet, but roughly I would expect it to be within 2 to 3 weeks. The Freelancer rework will have the same variants before. They're not going to go all modular like they did with the Retaliator. The limited ship sales will come in the flavours of the Endeavour, then the Crucible, then the Prowler, and then the Reliant variants will be coming after that. The Kasaba clothing outlet is upcoming and being worked on now. What is the Prowler? It's a boarding ship. How will Rec work in AC 2.0? Watch 10 for the Chairman on Monday. There is a question that will help answer that. News about the CCU system and manual melting. Nothing new at the moment. The CCU system is currently being fast-tracked though. Next, the new landing zone will not be there before multi-crew. There'll be more information about the Jan Scout and the Starfarer relatively soon, at least some form of art. Do passengers count towards maximum crew limits? The max crew limit was a very early pitch document thing. People need to look away from that, ignore that number for now. There will be some form of life support system that will sustain the amount of people that actually fit on a ship. There was a lore survey on the website. That's entirely lore and trying to help bring people into the Star Citizen world. Will there be a pocket carrier? They're all pocket carriers, they joked saying, but lots of ships will be able to be made into some form of carrier, though you're going to lose a lot by having some form of carrier bay. Users of the Community Hub, forums and Issue Council must now be backers or have ready status. Forum users can use the Recruitment Hub or the Recruiting Centre if they don't have backer or ready status, but they are locked into there. This means you either need a game package, which will make your account ready, or have spent some form of real funds on your account, which will make you a backer. Please, if you have any other Star Citizen questions, post them in the comments here. I'll take some of them each week and try and find answers for them. I actively search for answers, whether I have to interview people or just watch lots of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me. And I'll see you in the verse.